Welcome back, everyone. This is Daniel Blair, Mike McGarry, talking to David Bernhardt today about the big news, a win on Dragon's Den, a brand new product here that is really quite nifty. Now, again, what do you call this?
This is the TwoCane.
TwoCane, and we've tried it out. It's neat, guys. Like, you can actually, for the retired person, elderly person in your life, it's a really functional device. Again, you can see here, it's just good for mobility all around.
Mobility, and it comes in multiple colors.
Woohoo!
That's key right there.
Yeah, selling feature.
At least, that's good. But we in the first module, then we were talking a bit about just getting on Dragon's Den, the story of it. But let's talk a little bit about how did the idea come about? You know, this just come to somebody in a dream and you put it all together.
Everyone's idea of the pinnacle of this is getting on Dragon's Den.
So this is one of those stories that most people don't believe. It started out. I was in Florida at senior relatives, and they were getting up and they were struggling getting out of their chair. And then I noticed, and I tried to help them, and they said, "Oh, I should have brought my second cane." I said, "You use two canes?" And they said, "Yeah, after working hours," which was a joke because they've been retired for 30 years. And so that kind of put a little, took a note of that, and then went home and then met up with my business partner Marco, who after multiple surgeries, he had so many back issues. He just had a spinal fusion, so now he's on the road to recovery. And so I pitched it to him, and he just kind of fell over, and he says, "You know what? That's awesome. I know canes, I know walkers, I know crutches." And so he then went back, and the next day I came over, and he had his taken down his shower curtain, cut it up in a little bit of foam, and he turned it into a cane inside a cane. Originally I had a split cane, and he turned it into a cane inside a cane, and he came to me and he said, "Hey, check this out." And I said, "That's pretty cool." And so I played around with it. We shot a video. It's quite entertaining now to watch the video. And then I took it back and just started doing some design work. And then 2 or 3 days later, I threw it on the 3D printer and designed one of the first canes. This is probably version 3. And we said, "Oh, that's really cool." And then I showed him the Easy Up feature where you can rotate the handles. Yeah. And that was, instantly it's amazing. And so he said, "All right." And he's sales is his background. So he went on. He found this a show called MedTrade down in Vegas. It's one of the largest North American trade shows.
Trade show, yeah. Okay.
So it's a big trade show. He said, "Let's go to MedTrade. It's in 2 months, so we're literally 7 weeks away, and we have nothing besides this prototype foam cane and a 3D printed prototype." So we worked nonstop to get to that show, and our goal for going to that show was to win the Gold Innovative New Product Award. So we're up against companies like Philips, like multi-billion-dollar companies in the medical industry, and there's us with our TwoCane, and we won. We won. And
I wouldn't expect anything less, considering the listeners don't realize whenever David has an idea, it truly is 24/7 until it's done.
So we went from idea in January to in April we won the Gold Award at MedTrade. And it wasn't when they came over and they presented it, they had a whole entourage and people, and they said, "You didn't win it just by a little bit, you won it by a landslide." They said, "Out of the 100 products, you had 80% of the votes."
Wow. And that's where they'll end the first movie about this, right?
Yeah, so then we were talking about Dragon's Den earlier, yep. And so with that confirmed that we won this Gold Award, we said, let's do Dragon's Den. Let's push the envelope and let's see if we can do this. And Dragon's Den was recording 2 weeks later. So we went from MedTrade, went home, rejigged all our prototypes, repainted all of them because they were pretty beat up after a 4-day show. And then we went and pitched on Dragon's Den. And even though we didn't have sales, we knew that because we won a Gold Award for being the innovative new product, that they couldn't say that this is a bad idea. And so we went on there with no sales, and we got the deal.
Yeah, you had the validation. That's
exactly. So
and that hasn't been done, has it? I can't think of an example.
There's only one other product that went on there with an award and no sales, and it was called the Heft.
So you're a repeat offender.
So we did it twice in a row.
That's
so
awesome.
and I don't think anyone's ever walked off there without sales. Besides,
so I know you have different partners for the Heft and TwoCane. Sorry, TwoCane.
TwoCane.
They're different partners, but so is there any commonality between the two groups?
Yeah, so both with the Heft and the TwoCane, it's I work with Marco Longley, who's now a good friend of mine, and then on the TwoCane, we also partnered with my twin brother Dean. So Dean's a percentage owner, and myself and Marco. So it's we call it a family business because we see ourselves as family now. It's and that's how close we work together.
Excellent. So from this idea through conception, you guys have worked your butts off to get it visible. What's next in the launch of TwoCane?
So TwoCane, we're ready for manufacturing. We've gone through, and I was just showing Mike earlier the newest 3D printed prototype.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp.
Hot off the printer. We've done a lot of research, and we've worked with a lot of seniors to figure out what their concerns are, and we've adapted them into the newer model, and yeah, it's been a hit. So we've launched we're launching Indiegogo campaign. It's just called the TwoCane, and we're going to go for manufacturing. It's we've got everything. We've got all the elements. We've got the manufacturers lined up to a certain extent. So. We just need support to help us get to the next stage. I mean, we're doing this on our own. We're still working with the Minhouse group, which they've been great, but it's they're at the point where they said let us know when you need something, and right now we just we feel that the community is the way to go. We want to see it thrive and build up from the community rather than just go to an investor and just make it happen. We're the grassroots type of people.
Perfect. I think it was awesome how you guys, you found something that you can be passionate about. You got your idea and you got it validated so quickly. So, I guess, do you have any advice for people with ideas right now that are kind of, thinking that they want to start prototyping, they want to find that next big thing?
Well, a lot of people, and Mike knows me from a few projects, but a lot of people will go and hire a consultant to validate their product and go through the stats and go through everything to figure out is this a good idea. What we do and what we've done many times with projects, and some have succeeded, some have failed. We go to a show, we pay, we put a booth together and we go to the show and we talk to the people and we find out, is this something you'd want? Is this something you would buy? And if the answer is yes, then we move to the next stage. And for us, it was we went to the show at the next stage. We went to Dragon's Den. Now we know exactly what people want, and we went to Indiegogo. So it's just that validation process, which is completely different from what anyone else will ever tell you.
No, you've certainly proven yourself.
So yeah, we're going to take a quick break, but in the next module, let's get into some of that nitty-gritty of the business model behind it, because we know that from an investment perspective, there's backing opportunities. You have more choices than most inventors and definitely most entrepreneurs in Canada. And this is that path you've chosen. So let's get into that logic and some of that in the next module. So stay tuned, and we'll see you soon.